Hola. From the west side. It's me, DC, the Purple Diva. And welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Tuesday, everybody. And I see that I've already had a visitor from one of my fellow autism parents. Shouts out to Better Understanding. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. Beating me here. And a special shout out to my fellow YouTuber, Jovi Beauty, which is part of the reason why I'm late, because today is her birthday, and she had a live stream that led into her birthday, and I'm a mod on her thing, and I wanted to be there for a minute just to say a nice happy birthday to her. But she's a baby to me. She is a baby to me. But happy birthday to YouTuber Jovi Beauty. Y'all go on by and say hi to her if you don't know her. So I have a couple of things that I want to talk about tonight on this Tuesday Transform, as I'm calling it. I want to talk about a few individuals who supposedly have transformed, as in transformed into, I don't know, born again Christians. First one I'll talk about, who I think will be maybe a shorter topic, is Ms. Evelyn Lozado from Basketball Wives. So Evelyn supposedly then got baptized, okay? And now she's I guess born again. But you know, one of the things that one of the bigger YouTubers pointed out, shouts out to Storm Monroe, is this chick never apologized for any of the stuff she did. Like, she hasn't apologized to OG for her insulting behavior and implying that OG looked like a monkey. And I'm not even going to go into the fact that Shawnee kind of gave her a pass on that. Whatever. But, you know, I'm not one to judge. But if you didn't go on and got baptized, Evelyn, I'm going to hope that your behavior is going to change going forward. And that you have at least apologized to OG in private. I'm really hoping that you have, at least. But I don't know, because Evelyn's not that classy, y'all. She really not. So, but supposedly she got baptized, you know. But here's the thing I know, as a Christian who has been baptized and is born again, Going under that water is not going to change you if you haven't changed who you are on the inside. And, you know, I guess we'll just have to wait and see if, in fact, there is some type of behavior changes for Miss Evelyn Lozado. You know, it's between her and God, you know. I mean, between her and God. But I just find it, you know, very odd that, you know, you're supposedly now a born-again Christian, but someone who you said something very offensive to, as far as we know, you have never apologized to them. You know? And then, you know, she tried to justify her behavior by saying that she's Afro-Latina. And as someone who is Afro-Latina, she can miss me with that. Yeah, she can. So, yeah, I'd like to see a repentant Evelyn. Those are the share, son. Yeah, my son is in here hanging out with me right now. So now, you know, like I said, with Evelyn, that was, you know, the jury's still out for me. The jury's still out for me, you know. So we'll see. Hey, Cherry, how are you? How are you? Thank you for coming through. Did you stop by Miss Josie and wish her a happy birthday? Thank you. Yeah, I'm talking about Evelyn, claiming she's born again Christian now. But homegirl has not, as far as anyone knows, formally apologized to OG. Cool. You know? And I hate when people, you know, say that they, you know, I got baptized, now I'm changed. So they expect us to immediately believe them? Come on, girl. Nobody's gonna believe that automatically. Exactly. Yeah, that's what Storm said. That's what Storm said. But the girl ain't apologized for nothing. She hasn't apologized for a daggone thing. So I'm not sure about her transformation. Like I said, the jury is still out on her. I don't even watch the show. I did for a little while, but you know, Tammy's not on there anymore. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it anymore. And I can't, and I'm not a Jennifer fan at all. Are you gonna eat your food or are you gonna just eat mine? Yeah. Shawnee, with her chocolate children, should know better. You know? You got chocolate kids by a dark-skinned man. and you're gonna let this fool, who you call a friend, act a fool and give her a pass. Oh, her weed company didn't ever get off the I thought she was doing her thing. That's crazy. All these people out there, but all these collectives, and she got money and she couldn't get it together. Child. I guess that's on her. Yeah, her kids are dark skinned. So shame on you. And ain't nobody listening to Evelyn with her Afro-Latina when she want to be behind. She ain't no Afro-Latina. She need to stop that mess. You know, but she sure don't have no problem with chocolate men. She just mad because OG was talking to Chad. That's what that was about. And you know, oh, she got denied, huh? Maybe that's why she was trying to get Shaq to go into it with her. But he said he couldn't do it. His image. He said he couldn't do it for his image. And then, if I'm not mistaken, Shaq is actually a cop in some place or another because he really wanted to be a cop. So I think he actually is a cop in some city or another. You know, even though it would be lucrative to have him involved in it, I can understand from his standpoint, it's bad for his brand. Yep. Like I'm saying, he's a police officer somewhere. I knew I remembered that. I knew I remembered that. You know, but yeah, Evelyn's doing the most. You know, but she was my first person to talk about for Tuesday Transforms. She's supposedly transformed. Next, we're gonna talk about Mr. Kanye West. Kanye. I don't know what to think with Kanye because, truth be told, Kanye did come up in the church. So I can believe it a little bit more, you know, that he's coming back to himself, you know, but then he's trying to call his choir church. I don't know about, you know, his Sunday services. You know, dude, you're not ordained, you know, but I'm starting to believe that he really is a born again Christian, which is probably going to be the end of his marriage. Hey, Joy. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know with Kanye because he was brought up in the church. You know, time will tell. Time will tell if he really is, saved. Just like, remember when Deion Sanders got saved? Nobody believed it at first. It took a minute. So, like I said, Kanye's doing the most though. Instead of attending somebody else's church, you want to start your own church when you just got saved yesterday. That part don't make sense. So we'll see what happens. Well, that's never going to happen. Kim don't know much about church. She just learning. She's just learning. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Joy. I'm up here eating and talking. Yeah. Well, and then Trump has Sharon White as his advisor. I mean, Paula White. And Paula White is questionable, but the pastors that Kanye is reaching out to are legitimate. You know what I mean? So somebody is talking to him, and I mean, he's a smart guy, I mean, if he starts to calm down, just like, when Prince became a Jehovah's Witness, Prince pretty much changed how he was. It was a real change for him, so we just got to wait and see with Kanye. But right now, people are thinking it's about, he got a new album coming out and stuff. But if he is faking, he's faking well because he's making everybody around him, pretty much trying to toe the line. And the way he's coming across is the way that most people are when they first, are born again, very judgy and stuff. Man, Ray J need to go take a seat with that bull crap. Ain't nobody thinking about Suge. Suge need to be in jail. He did a whole lot of illegal stuff that he didn't get caught for. That's what I think. Ray J need to go sit down somewhere with that. If somebody's going to get up there and beg for Suge to be pardoned, shouldn't it be his son? The one that's on that other show, Love and Listings. It should be his son. His family should be the ones, trying to get him out. Because his son is on that show. He's trying to get into real estate. Man. Yeah. Ray J need to get saved. And he grew up in the church, so he need to get saved. He need to get re-saved. Because Ray J so far out there. He just trying to go up there to see if he can get to Trump. He ain't gonna see no daggone Trump. Man. Ray J faking the funk. That's what he doing. I mean, the only thing that makes him halfway relevant is being on that stupid show. I will give it to him that he's a good businessman because he's making a lot of money off of them earbuds that he made, those Raycon ones. He's making a lot of money off of them things. But other than him being on Love and Hip Hop, he's irrelevant. And that was so stupid, though, you know, because here's the thing. He went to his dad, you know, when he was getting ready to do it. He went to his dad when he was getting ready to do it. I was getting ready to give them to you. He went to his dad when he was getting ready. And in the first place, and his dad told him, okay. And then now that he's finally gonna make something, Suge's being a hater. Don't worry about it, sweetie. Just eat your food, okay? And that's a good thing for Jacob to because the California real estate exam is no joke. It is not easy to pass that exam. That's why he failed it the first time. Right. Yeah. I don't know, but Ray J just trying to stay relevant right now. Hey, 1SP. Suge is ignorant. I don't understand. Why would you be upset about your son passing the California State real estate exam because he doesn't want to go into the music business? You should be happy that his son wants to do something. Sure. You bring me a raid? Sure, you can bring a raid. That's just so stupid on Suge's part. And then Ray J's dumb to be trying to get to Trump to get Suge part. You know, because even though Trump has been pardoning black people, Suge ain't the type of person that he's going to be giving a pardon to. See, yeah, that part. But I say his son should just go ahead and do what he needs to do to take care of the family because, you know, Suge tripping. You not even here to take care of your kids. Your son trying to do what you supposed to be doing. He trying to be the man that you supposed to be. You know, I hate when these dudes be doing that stuff to their kids. Yeah, Ray J wanna be street cred, but he ain't got no street cred. You know, he he used to be doing all kind of little stupid stuff back in the day, you know, hanging out with the wrong people and everything. And, you know, Snoop tried to, steer him on the right path and everything, but Ray J hard-headed, but he grew up in Pacoima, so stop it. You did not grow up in South Central. You do not know nothing about the hood. But that's just how Ray J is, But getting back to Mr. Kanye West, Kanye supposedly has transformed. So far in Kanye's transformation, he's looking like he has transformed. But we don't know if it's a permanent transformation or if it's a temporary transformation for, temporary gain. We don't know which one it is. Yeah, exactly. And he's Brandy's brother. He had one song, and I think it was called One. I think it was called One, too. I think that's the name of the song. The one song he had, I think it was called One. Oh, let me stop. Yeah, well, with Kanye, you just gotta, it's like, at least, dude has said he has chemical imbalance. That was always obvious to the rest of us. Now you know. And I think it's because he is taking medications and everything, that he's coming to himself, and he's probably starting to realize that he's been tripping for a long time. So maybe he feels that the only way to make himself look better is to go the religious route, Yeah, they seem to have some type of weird friendship. Some type of weird friendship going on there. But Kim used that friendship between Kanye and Trump to get Trump to do what she wanted him to do. So, kudos to Kim on that one. I'm not mad at her for the people she's gotten pardoned at all. I'm just trying to figure out what her agenda is. You know what I mean? What her agenda is for this. It is 10. It's 10 because I'm in California. So Mahogany be coming in here when she's having an insomniac moment too, and Latoya as well. Yeah, that's true. Well, so far the loss, her trying to become an attorney part. That part I know she can do. In California, you can get what's called a JD, Juris Doctorate, to become a lawyer, and you don't have to have gone to law school. You just have to have done what she's supposedly doing with a law firm, and then you have to take the exam. And the exam is no joke. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Hey, Terry. I'm doing well tonight. We're doing well. Just talking about starting out the conversation about people who have supposedly transformed. I started out with Miss Evelyn Lozado. That was a short conversation, you know, because she's not really that relevant. And now we're talking about Kanye and, you know, his supposed transformation to a born-again Christian. You know, but people forget, you know, that he grew up supposedly in the church. Because I think that's how he knew John. And we know John was in the church. Oh yeah, that. You know, Evelyn getting baptized and saying she's born again, man. I can't with it. I'm not even, you know, with it. I'm gonna have to see something to make me believe. You know what I mean? I mean, at least with Kanye, we're seeing something. We may think it's all rather rushed, you know. But remember when Mace got saved? Remember when Mace got saved? He did something similar. Mace did something similar. And the next thing you knew, he had his own church. So, you know, I don't know. But then Mace turned around and came back and did like a couple of secular rap songs. And then he went back to doing church stuff. Yeah, you talking about Joel Osteen? Yeah, but it's church. Tax evasion, they think. But a lot of times that's because they like to sweat Christians, you know, about the 501 503c, whatever it is. I can't remember the correct, you know, the nonprofit status. So I don't know if that was ever cleared up for him, but I believe it did get cleared up. He either made restitution or he was cleared. Yeah, Joel Osteen. I mean, he's interesting. I mean, he has good nuggets in his word and everything. Oh my God, we got a 1SP raid. We're getting raided. We're getting raided. Oh, we're getting raided, guys. 1SP is raiding us. Yeah. I know. Hey, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for the raid, 1SP. Hey, Trillion. Hey, everyone. Please smash that like button. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the raid. Thank you. Thank you, 1SP. Yeah, Evelyn is, I don't know. I think she's just trying to clean up her image, you know, because Black people ain't feeling her right now at all. Thank you, guys. Hi, Mama Ray Ray. Hi, Luan. Hi, DC. Smash that like button, guys. Thank you for coming in. I am good, Mama Ray Ray. Thank you for coming. One SP, my brother. Thank you. Man, Evelyn and April should take notes. They should compare notes because both of them have been passed around. One's been passed around athletes, the other one's been passed around entertainers. But they both been passed around. Yeah, I was done with her when she did that that monkey thing. Okay. I'm sorry. Because I'm a brown girl and I took offense to it. I'm sorry. Exactly. She's an older version. That's what April wants to be. You know, but O took the high road. He ain't talking about that girl other than to say that is the mother of my children. Let folk know you're not gonna get me to say nothing about her. So he's a classy dude. Classy dude. But Miss Evelyn Lozado, she did the same old thing, tapping on her pum pum. Both of these chicks. What is up with this? Tapping on your pum pum. Yeah, I don't, I don't do well with the colorism stuff. I've never done well with it because I've always been brown, and on the East Coast where I grew up, I was considered dark, and I'm not that dark, but I was considered dark. I was considered darker, because I can't pass the paper bag test, as they say. So, but when I came to California, it was a whole different thing. Out here, I'm not considered dark. So it's, we're all messed up on the color thing. Black people as a whole are. Oh yeah, they get that rejuvenation surgery done. Well, you shouldn't have all of those, things going up into your pum pum. Oh, you want a link? Let me put it down. Let me do it. Give me a second, 1SP. All right. If anyone wants to come up, I just put it in the chat. That's the link if anyone wants to come up. Now, hopefully I'll see you when you come up. What's the raid? All right, Cherry. Oh, Angel came up. Let's see. Hey, Angel. Are you muted? I can't hear you. You have yourself muted. Yeah, I can't hear you. Oh, okay, 1 second. All right.
Okay, hopefully that's better. Need to put my headphones on.
Okay. Wait a minute, 1 second. I gotta add one SP. Okay. Wait a minute, 1 second. I
Oh,
gotta add one SP.
it's such a blessing to be here right now.
Hey, 1SP.
Hey, how you doing, Purple Diva? How you doing?
I'm
How you
doing
doing?
wonderful.
You look blessed to me. You look highly favored to me.
Always, always. That's why I have purple hair. Because I know whose I am.
Okay, you royal. You
That's right.
royal.
I'm royal. I'm royalty.
Angel is a
Okay,
little
is that
upset
better
because
now?
his computer. He upset about his computer.
Angel,
Yeah, I am.
Angel, what's going on? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm a bit frustrated tonight because there's been problems with my computer. It's been acting really slow.
Hey, Russell. Thank you for coming. I know you don't, Terry. I know you don't. But
Oh, thank you, Russell. Thank you, Russell.
yeah, but we all know about Kanye. And I mean, my thing is that it's a wait and see with them. It's wait and see to me with Kanye. I mean, so far it appears to be genuine, but I don't know that. It just happened yesterday, as far as I'm concerned.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. It always seemed genuine in the beginning. It always seemed like that. When people like be in jail and they get out for the first 2 weeks or so, they act like they all saved and stuff, and then a month go by, they go right back to their most of the time they go right back to their ways. So yeah, I've seen it in my own family.
Can someone please explain to T Million what a raid is? Because he's like asked 2 different times what's a
Oh,
raid. Uh,
okay. Let me add Cherry. Hey, Cherry.
Hey, Purple Diva. Good evening, everyone.
hey, Cherry.
Hey, Miss Jacobs,
Hey, how y'all doing this evening?
I really
Doing
like
well.
your avatar better than I like mine.
Purple Diva, you have me laughing today. Kanye is too much. He's doing a whole lot of nothing.
He's a good
It,
choir director, though. Ha ha.
Yeah, as long as we stay away from them $4,000 famous tennis shoes that walks on spring water.
But I'm laughing because he's trying to keep North from wearing makeup and stuff.
But when he met her, she wore nothing literally but makeup.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but he's looking
the
at his
daughter,
daughter. He's watching his
the
daughter, and
daughter.
his daughter is a mini mommy. But like
But you
y'all
know what
said,
I think?
he
Well,
he
you
wants
know
her to be
what?
Beyonce. She ain't Beyonce. She ain't even black. Stop it.
No, no. I think Tasha K said it best. How you gonna come in the industry and be messing with other people's daughters and disrespect other people's daughters, and then when you have your own, then you want to be respected?
Exactly. And I mean, North is a beautiful little girl, but
Man, she ain't
man,
nowhere close to DC Purple Diva. She ain't
huh?
nowhere close. You said she a pretty little girl, but she ain't nowhere close to DC Purple Diva.
This is true. But you know, Beyonce don't when Beyonce's daughter and Kim's daughter were going to the same school, and they were actually in the same class. They didn't even play with each other.
Yeah, but they gave Blue Ivy the blues about her hair, and the only thing I can say is they were strong to not bend and just let that little girl's hair alone.
Yeah, yeah. My daughter's hair was like Blue Ivy's. I let her wear her hair out, but you know, in DC, They don't. If they really that bad off about the hair, somebody would do your child's hair for you. But they never touched my daughter's hair. They let
I
them
grew
be
up
who
in
they want to
DC,
be.
girl. I know. I grew up in
Yeah.
DC. They used to give me. I used to get the blues growing up
Yeah.
because I didn't really my mom didn't really do the perm thing that much when I got to
Yeah.
high school and when I was in junior high. Man, them girls used to give me the blues about my hair.
Oh,
Yeah.
because you're natural?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my hair is naturally curly.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
oh.
in DC, in
Honey girl,
DC,
embrace those kinks in those coils. Don't worry about them people. You don't even got to go to your class reunion. Don't worry about them.
I
but not normally in our society, like in Washington D.C. Because I grew up in D.C. When your parents didn't really do your hair with a lot of chemicals, because my hair was straight black, and I didn't have a relaxer. There were times that the older kids seeing you like that, especially when you were playing with them, they would do your hair for your parents. They didn't just really keep talking about your hair being nappy or anything. They
No,
just went
and
on ahead
it
and did
wasn't
it.
that my hair was nappy. It's
No,
that I didn't have my hair pressed. So
exactly.
I would have like the roller curls.
Hmm. They
You
call
know,
them the Shirley Temple curls.
exactly the wet sets and stuff. And
The
my
Yeah,
wet
mom wasn't
sets.
putting all that
You,
stuff in my hair.
you had the
yeah.
wet sets.
Yep.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
and they would, but see, here's the thing. I realized later that they were jealous because when I look back, my hair was long. It was
Yep.
curly, but it was long. And
it
them girls
was.
was hating. My
Well,
hair was,
they
it's like
always gonna hate.
it's
You
like if
know,
my hair was flat ironed out, it was halfway down my back.
you
Yeah.
know what? They hated on Angel because Angel was a modest student in school. We was just talking about that, Angel?
Yeah, because growing up, I was a model student, but oftentimes they had put me in a big box because you know who was on the panel with SPME said that he had to be locked up at times, and I told the story of times that I was locked up because growing up they put me in a timeout box for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, and they've oftentimes put me in what is known as a basketball hold. And the basketball hold is a form of restraint where they slam you to the ground and cross your arm, kind of like how a police officer does to obtain a suspect or arrest someone who is not following the police orders.
He got oppressed too for the
Oh,
way he looked.
I know. Me and Angel,
Wow.
we talked,
He got
and
oppressed for the way he looked too.
yeah,
And
we
he's like one of
talked.
the kindest and nicest and compassionate
Oh
people
yeah,
you'll ever
Angel was
meet.
a sweetheart.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
The
I
only
was
the
telling
biggest
her
thing.
about SP how oftentimes I needed time by myself, and then he SP said they should just let me have my outburst because over time I will in time I will calm down and think things through. But at times when I was younger in special ed class from K to 12, they put me in timeout boxes many times, put me in a basketball
Yeah,
hold,
that,
all
that just
because I
upset me,
caused
man.
an
This is what
outburst.
and you guys,
That upset me, man.
what they
Every
do.
time.
This is what they do in special education to some students. It's
That's what
crazy.
that really upset me. I don't understand why they wouldn't let him be him. He would calm down. Like it makes no sense. Like it makes no sense how they treated him. They treated him like he was like a slave, basically. They basically knocked him down, and
Hey,
stuff like
Purple
that.
Diva, my daughter was born with Down syndrome, and I
Mhm.
had to do everything from her hair to the way she dressed to taking time to give her special ed treatment in order for her to go to the public schools in DC,
Mhm.
especially Howard Road, and to have her to fit in. And I eventually took my daughter out of public school, and she's been homeschooled for most of her school year life.
That's what a lot of parents
That's
do,
better.
though, Sherry. That's what
That's
a lot of
better
parents do. If
because
I've said a lot of times, multiple times, if I could have, I would have homeschooled my son because if I had been able to homeschool my son, he would have gone to college. But
yeah,
Yeah.
because I wasn't able to do that, he didn't go to college.
Well,
You
it's
know, it
difficult.
seems like
I'm not gonna lie, it's very difficult in homeschooling a child with Down syndrome. But I can tell you this much. She hasn't missed any school days. She's not being bullied anymore. We'd go on more field trips than any public schools, both here in North Carolina and in DC, because they don't do hardly no field trips anymore. So my daughter goes on field trips. We go on
good
outings
night, T
together and we
Million.
spend more
Good
time.
night, T Million. Yeah, but you know what? Like my best friend is still back here in the DC area, and all her kids are grown now. But she homeschooled 6 kids.
Yeah.
She homeschooled 6 kids all the way to high
Yeah.
school, and
Yeah.
the only thing she did is that she paid the activity fee so that they could participate in all of the sports and all of the other stuff and any that, and she did school year round with her kids.
Well, see, I don't pay an activity fee. If she goes, they call it an outing here in North Carolina.
Uh
She's
huh.
with NCVA, and they don't pay activity fees. It's just when they have these outings, she has to show up so she can get credit for attendance. But we're going to places like the museum, the movies, the roller
Hmm.
skates, to the ice cream store and stuff like that. So it's places that we would go anyway. And she would just meet up with her teachers and get credit for attending an outing. And she does an outing twice a month. And she gets
Wow.
to pick which outing she want to do. The classes are not hard now that she's in high school.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little difficult when she was in middle because they had to send us like science equipment for her to take science and social studies. So I mean that was a lot, but now it's much easier. And I have a 9-year-old son that has ADD, and I'm gonna let him finish out elementary school because he's doing good. But when he
Mm-hmm.
gets ready to start middle
Okay. That's I commend you, girl.
Yeah, I say you're doing a good job there.
And
Yeah,
I
because it seems like those teachers are only there to collect a check and oppress the students that have special needs, and they get impatient with the students. They are the ones. It seems like with the issues, not the students. They really seem like they really need some kind of professional attention.
well, see, the
So
thing is one SP is that really in a lot of schools, the teachers that are the special education teachers, they don't get any special training to be special education teachers. I think it's just maybe like in the last 15 years that they started actually having, at the undergrad level, them able to take special education classes. Before that, most of the classes you had to be working on a master's to take classes in special ed. And now they can even get degrees specifically for teaching kids on the autism spectrum.
ooh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
That's
but
beautiful.
but but it's it's
It's far in between though.
exactly, it's still new because that's something you know that you don't have all over the country. Like here in California, depending on where you are, like they have several programs, but again, these programs didn't come up until my son was older. But they have several programs here that are really, really good. And then there's programs in other states. But the thing is that they're not all over. And you still have to find the right program. And that again leaves a lot of parents that have kids on the spectrum or special needs to if they can homeschool their kids because they don't have to worry about their kid being mistreated at school, being left behind, not learning, just being there to be babysat and being bullied.
They don't even do that. They don't. The teachers, I could see if most teachers in this situation would teach, but they don't. They don't teach. I could see if they do babysit, but they don't even want to watch. over your child. They want to, oppress your child. They want to imprison your child. They want to do all of that. Like Angel said, he only had one outburst, and he was pushed to the ground. Their knees
now
was
they can't
on
even
his
touch
head.
the teachers can't see that. I talked about this on another live. Now teachers can't even put their hands on children at all, even if it is to help the child. Like, for example, that young man that was severely autistic that died in Orange County, California. He died because they couldn't touch him to stop him from getting on the golf cart. They tried to stop the golf cart, but they couldn't stop the golf cart, but they couldn't actually physically touch him because the law says they can't. Even if it's to try to save his life, they can't. But the school district's still going to get sued now. You know that, right? Still going to get sued.
Well, they're going to attempt to sue the school district.
But that, from when I looked that up, that apparently is like the rule across the country, and I'm sure it's because of people putting their hands inappropriately on children, like or roughing them up. But now they can't even touch them to help them. That's the new rule.
Oh,
yep. That's the new rule.
Well, I know Angel was telling me his little stories.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying it's because of experiences like what he went through. Now they can't touch them at all. At all. Cannot touch students at all.
So because basically, if I was a kid again and I was in special ed K through 12 and I had that outburst again, they couldn't touch me or even slam me on the ground at all because of the rules.
Yeah, the rules now say they can't touch the child. They can't restrain them.
Well, sister, is that the red flag rule?
They can't restrain they're not even like the kids who are runners. They're not even supposed to, someone is supposed to, like if they run, they're supposed to follow them, but they're not supposed to touch them. I'm like, well, what if they run out into the traffic? What do you do then?
So are they so what happens if they get hit by the child?
See, that's the thing. It's like, if the kid hits them, they can't defend themselves. They just have to, I guess, someone has to pull the kid off of them.
But then they still touch him by pulling the kid off.
Exactly. So I don't know what they do in that situation. Like I know what they do. Like when my son was in school, if the kid gets aggressive with the teaching staff, they suspend him.
Oh, and he be home with you.
Yeah, my son got suspended for 3 days.
Woo, that's a long time.
Thankfully, I work from home, so I was home.
That's a long time.
I would have to take off work to come home and be home with him.
That's the long time. 3 days? Oh man.
It was high school. I can do it. Let me be in the military. I gotta find out. I gotta leave the field because my son got suspended. Woo. I gotta leave the field. Spend 3 days at home where I could be in the field because he. Yeah. And that's special. And my son was always in special ed. But even in special ed, he got suspended for 3 days.
But I can't believe that. Suspended?
Wow.
Yep, sure did.
So what happens when he
and they asked him to go to a different school the next year.
What?
What?
He could no longer be in the same class with that teacher. I'm serious.
Oh, so that teacher was the only teacher that they had for that class?
Yeah, he couldn't be in that class after that. They suspended him, and then they transferred him to a different teacher.
Oh, a different teacher. Oh, that ain't bad.
At a different school.
At a different school. Whoa.
They moved him to a whole nother school.
They did too much work on you. That was too much work on you.
But then the thing is that the next year, the teacher who had been his teacher, that they had moved him from, all of
Got
the
fired?
to the same campus, so he saw her again. But it wasn't even a situation because he knew he had done wrong, you know. But it was a meltdown,
Mm. Mm.
and he couldn't help handle it. I think Sherry dropped off.
Oh, she'll be back.
Yeah,
She'll be back. She probably had some business to tend to.
Yeah.
Russell says that I believe ADHD is caused. Let me go. Let me see that. ADHD is caused by our addiction to social media. A commercial is 30 seconds. The average ADHD time is 30 seconds. Coincidence? I think not. Russell is talking a lot now.
Russell is asking if this. I'm talking about in California. This happened in California.
I suggest you grow. I suggest you grow every day. That way you will.
Well, I can tell you
will
for
never
me,
be as tall as
what I
you
think
were
caused
yesterday.
what I think caused autism for my son, and this is just my opinion of what happened with my son. I believe for my son, it was the vaccine. I believe it was, and it was them being bundled and being given to him so all at one time when he was really, really young, because they give all of those measles and mumps vaccines to babies like before they're even a year old, and I think it's too young.
So they did it to me too. They gave me a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and I had that happen.
Yeah,
But the only reason why I know is because I spoke to my mom a while back, and she said that she found out I was autistic and that I had a seizure disorder when she saw me have my first seizure at 18 months old.
right.
And
After
I'm
you had the
guessing
shot.
back then she had brought me to the hospital and had me get all kinds of vaccines and medications put inside of me. And all throughout my years, I had to take all sorts of medication. And believe it or not, I took 27 different medications just for my disorders, because I took things like Tegretol, Adderall, Seroquel, Risperdal, so many medications.
Risperdal. Oh my.
That's too much stuff, Angel.
Risperdal?
Yeah,
So
Risperdal. Yep, Risperdal.
Woo!
They had you on too much stuff.
Too much strong stuff. Too much
Yeah,
strong stuff.
I did a video a little while back about meds.
All them steroids.
I talked about the meds and all the meds that they give to kids on the
They
autism.
gave him nothing but steroids.
But most of those meds, they're not even for autism. They give them to kids on the autism spectrum because they also help symptoms of autism. But those medications are for bipolar. They're for depression. All kinds of stuff. And they now give them to kids on the spectrum, because like Abilify, they give that to people with autism. And the reason I know is because my son was part of the clinical trial to see if it worked with kids on the autism spectrum. And it worked. It worked too well. And so we stopped giving it to him because he was the fat, sad kid, because it made him fat.
And I was on like 5 different medications just to treat my seizures. I was on a seizure medication called topiramate. It's hard to pronounce, but
epilepsy.
Did your mom ever try CBD?
CBD wasn't around back when I was younger, and in recent years I've did CBD because, believe it or not, back in 2018 of the beginning, I decided what I should do for 2018, and I decided to see what would happen if I just stopped taking my meds altogether. I did not talk to anyone. I did not say anything about it to anyone, because back in 2018 I still had a social worker, I still had a guardian, I still had a conservator. So many people.
You were able to get out of the conservatorship. See, that's why I don't want to put my son into a conservatorship, because if he gets
Yep.
to the point that he's able to take care of himself, you can't get out of a conservatorship. They're in it's for life. So you were able to
Yep.
get out of yours though.
Yeah, was able to get out of it because I won my case earlier this year on January 2nd of 2019. But last year I was still having all that, and at the beginning of 2018, of January 1st to be exact, I decided to see what I would feel like or how I would be if I stopped taking my medications, and I did not tell
Mhm.
anyone, including my conservator, until April of last year. And believe it or not, they saw a noticeably a huge difference from when I was on to when I was off.
Improvement, right?
Yep,
And so you are able to use CBD to help
yep,
with the seizures.
yep.
Good.
That's what I do now, and I just wish there was like a prescription CBD that could be refilled every month. But there's a few CBD stores that I go to
What
pick up.
see like here in California, you can get here in California, you can get CBD at 7-Eleven.
Oh yeah.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. You
Oh
can't
wow,
get but you can't get CBD like if you go to a shop that sells tobacco, they don't sell CBD, but you can get it like at all of the natural, all of the natural, places and 7-Eleven. But you can probably get it online because CBD is 100% legal in the United States, so you can actually have it mailed to you.
yeah, but it's just down in Minnesota. That's where I lived for 23 years before moving to Arizona this year. Down in Minnesota, it was still hard to find CBD because there wasn't all that much CBD stores around, and down there it was also hard because I think at the time CBD wasn't like approved by
Right. That's
Minnesota,
what I'm
even though
saying.
it is legal in all 50 states.
Yep, but it's legal in all 50 states now. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can probably you should be able to find um, good tested CBD online and have it delivered to you. And they may have delivery services that you can get it there in Arizona as well.
Yeah. I might have to take a look at it.
Yeah, because I know that works really really well with seizures.
Mhm.
Sherry Jacobs says those medicines are to keep them slow so they are controlled. I
Yeah,
could agree with her more
I know
because believe it or
that's
not,
yeah. My son was only part of the clinical trial, and yes, it did correct the behavior. He wasn't aggressive. He didn't hit anybody. He was just really, 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 really mellow. And then he would cry and he would be sad. And he was never a sad person. He was always happy.
Mm.
So his father and I decided that after the clinical trial was over that he was not taking it anymore. He was going to stop when the clinical trial was over. So he did. So now, that's why now we're looking at him getting ABA to help him with his meltdowns, so that he'll learn how to control it himself. And then they'll also give us things that we can do to help him, with this, so that he's not hurting himself, he's not getting angry and not being able to articulate why he's angry, but for me, I don't want him to do meds at all. I mean, he can, if he wants to do CBD, I'd let him do that, but meds, we don't do meds.
and when I was on meds for the most part of my life until I decided to stop doing them last year, I didn't feel all that much happy about myself, and I was so down, and oftentimes it was hard for me to speak up as fast as I can, and sometimes I spoke in a more lesser exciting tone than what I am speaking like now, and so I have to say, Sherry, those medications I took all my years, um, I'm happy that they are no longer in my system.
I'm glad they're not in your life too.
See, Sherry said you can get it at the gas station in DC. I told you, CBD.
Well, I live in Phoenix, Arizona. That's the thing.
In Phoenix, but you know what? I'll do some research too, because Arizona is a little bit more open now, because the states around them, it's 100% legal. Marijuana itself is 100% legal all the way around there. So they should have more of a supply of CBD, because as of this year, it is 100% legal in all 50 states. You know, and I know marijuana, and I know they have their medicinal marijuana laws in Arizona. So I'm happy for you too, Angel, because like I said, I did not like the way that the meds made my son feel. I could see how it was making him feel. I could see he was different. He didn't have to tell me, and that was the thing. The meds are more to control them, so that they're you can control the child, but that's not right, because the side effects can leave lasting things that will last throughout their lifetime. It's not worth it.
And then you got to medicate the side effects.
Exactly. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Because like you just said, if the medications will leave a lasting, as the old saying goes, it will leave a lasting impression. But the impression that it gave to me wasn't all that much of an impression that I was happy to have or see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then and it's the side effects.
Yep.
The side effects. So it's like with some of them, not all people, but there's a small percentage of people that get these side effects that children shouldn't have. Children shouldn't be worrying about high blood pressure or high cholesterol. They shouldn't be worrying about their heart. And that's what some of those medications, if you look in the fine print, it tells you all the side effects. And then when they do the commercials, they say them real fast, so you don't hear them. But they're bad.
Yeah.
They're bad. And now you have a lot of kids that were given all those medications. Now they're not on those medications, but now they're doing other drugs, because they're self-medicating.
Yep.
Believe it or not, one of the things I always kept committed to myself, and I will always keep committed till the day that I die, is that I will never do any form of drug. I will never smoke. I will never drink. Even if someone tried to offer me to smoke through their vape machine, nah, because I don't do that stuff. And basically, I was on drugs myself, but it wasn't my choice to be put on them. They just gave them to me, and all the medications that I took, they were trying to give me a drug inside of me, but it wasn't anything that was dangerous. But at the same time, it gave me so many side effects, and I'm happy that I'm off of those dastardly drugs that they had prescribed to me for so many years of my life. But I would never go to
They robbed
marijuana.
you of your independence.
Yep.
They robbed you of your independence.
Yep.
And see, that's the thing, that the other reason why I don't want my son to be on any types of medications. I don't mind like holistic treatments and stuff. I'm all for that, but I don't want him on any types of medications, because I want him to have a chance at independence.
Oh, yes.
And meds is not the way. If because meds don't cure. There's no cure for autism. It's just it's a neurodiversity. It's not a disease. It's not a disease like people think it is. It's a neurodiversity.
A lot of people are in fear of like what they're not used to. A lot of people are in fear of it. And the first thing they want to do is say it's a disease or that person got an illness, because they're not used to, a certain kind of, reaction. If someone not acting the same, then that person is, the one that's messed up. Usually
that's why you have people on YouTube, like like Angel, like Amethyst, like Aspie's World, that are on the spectrum, to show them that it's not a death sentence. They're going to be okay. For the most part. I mean, the people that they need to be worrying about is maybe someone who's severely autistic, because you want to get them to come out of their world into this world. Yes, in that situation you may have to worry more about them, but the people who are what they consider mildly autistic or Asperger's, most of those people just want to be accepted.
That's it.
And my autism and my disorders are all mild because oftentimes whenever I have a seizure and it only happens like once every 1 to 2 months, people around me are worried, but I only have what is known as small petty seizures, no grand mal seizures. And oftentimes I may come off a bit like angry or have an outburst, but it's just something that causes me like that, and it's just I need time by myself. Like I was telling the story to SP on his stream that
Mhm.
when I was younger and I left the house because I used to live in a group home with 3 other roommates. There was a time that I had an outburst and left the house and wanted to walk, but I had people following me everywhere I went, and I just needed time by myself to calm down
Yeah,
and get
that's why my
myself
son lives at
in a
home, because
calmer
I don't do group
situation.
homes. That's Yeah, my son lives at home because we don't want him to be in a group home, because we don't know what's going to happen to him at a group home. We don't know. We don't know how the other people are going to treat him, how whoever's running is going to treat him, and I think he'd be happier at home. But I'm glad you have your own place now, Angel.
Well, basically, I live in a place that helps autistic people, but it's
Right, but
more
you
so
have
for
your own.
people
But
of autistic that wants to become more independent. Because some autistic people have a hard time making their own meals or
yeah.
trying to do cleaning of themselves. So, because I don't necessarily know much myself, but when it comes to food, I usually make what I'm in the mood for, and I don't know what I want until that very day or that evening because I live what I like to say in the moment. Because if I'm living in a moment and there's something I want to do, I'll go up and do it. But if
Hmm.
there's anything I planned ahead, it's usually for
Okay,
something.
Miss Jacobs. Good night.
All right, have a great night, Jacob.
Bye. Bye, Cherry. Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Yeah,
But you know what? Angel,
What?
you're doing what you need to do. You fought for your independence
yeah.
so that you could do things on your own. And see, that's the thing that I want. I want for my son. I want him
You
to
are
be in a position to be able to, to be independent and not have to fight for his independence.
you are such an inspiration, not only to people with autism, but to the parents that are facing this autism with them. You are such an inspiration right
Uh,
now,
th-
today. You've
Thank
been
you.
on this worldwide platform. You are, and I told you that before you even got on my live stream today. Before you even got on my panel, that you are the inspiration to
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah, and when I was on your stream, you were like telling me that I was so I don't know what the term was, but it was something I knew. I told you about how I encourage myself to go after for what I want. What was that you said again?
Courageous.
Yeah, courageous. Cause I told you about how whenever I go after something, like when I was telling you about my computer problems, and tomorrow I'm gonna be going to Best Buy to do it, get it taken care of. You told me I was courageous, and I told you what it is. But I'll tell you here as well, Purple Diva. Um, for me, the way I usually go after for what I want is I usually try to find the best solution possible to work
Hmm.
it out for everyone. And if it doesn't something that is not worked out the first time, I usually try to talk to people of how I can get it worked out. Like let's say if I called the Shark Company, who makes one of the greatest vacuum of all time. And if I was having a problem and they couldn't do anything with the problem, I would talk to them to see how we can get it sorted out for the problem or what can be done. Even if I had to pay a small amount out of my pocket without having to pay a huge cost for a new unit, I usually try to speak to the people or speak to the representative from me if I'm having a problem or if I want something done, and usually try to talk to them. And if it doesn't work out the first time, try again and try to get a more manageable situation where it works out for everyone. And if it does nothing that I can do,
Mm-hmm.
just move on.
Mm-hmm.
That is so good though, because see, the thing is that you're able to, you know,
Communicate.
problem solve for yourself. Like
Mm-hmm.
like that's one of the things that I'm, working with my son on,
Yeah.
because he's 24,
Yeah.
but he's considered, I guess, he's not severely autistic because he, can get up and do things and he could communicate, but they consider him to be moderately autistic.
Well,
And yeah,
well,
yeah,
Well, your son just needs to speak to the people around him. If there's something he wants to get done, but
yes, and he does.
he has such high expectations for it, try to meet within those expectations, but not to the fullest extent. Because I the may have high expectations for something, but if it is even met for the tiniest, slightest a bit, I know that things can be worked out. The more I communicate with the people and try to work things
And that's
out,
what
and
we're
if I
working
can't,
with him on. That's what we're working with him on his communication skills.
yeah.
Yep. Working with him on his communication skill. And then, the the ABA is really to help him so that he doesn't exhibit certain behaviors,
Yeah.
and finds other ways to deal with, like with frustrations, like certain stemming things that he likes to do, you know, find a different way to deal with that. Like one of the things he wants to do is he's always building things. So he doesn't do Legos anymore, but I think I'm going to get him that 3D puzzle. It's some 3D puzzle thing that they advertised on Autism Live today. That's supposed to be really good for adults, and it helps
Oh wow.
with socialization. So I'm gonna get him one of those for Christmas because he likes to build things, and maybe that'll help him. Doing that to talk to somebody else because he has to do it with someone else to put the pieces together. Different activities.
Yeah.
But yeah, Terry, yeah, I don't trust the group homes in California. Yeah, and I have a friend that runs two of them here. If God forbid something happened to me, I would go to her. But outside of her, and I've known her since college, nowhere. Where I go, he goes for my son. Until he wants to live someplace else, he can stay at home. That's what that was the decision. So he's good with it. Clearly.
Yep.
Because I mean, you didn't have a bad group home experience, but some of the group homes, you just can't trust the people.
Well,
They're
well,
just there, they're just there to get their check.
you want to know one of the bad experiences I had? Because I was living in a house with three other roommates in a group home from 2006 to 2013. But I was living in another group home in an apartment that was a two-bedroom, and another roommate lived in the bedroom across from me. And I lived in an apartment group home from 2003 to 2006. But during that time, in about 2004 or five, when I was simply like walking over to my bedroom, the
Mm-hmm.
roommate just hopped on top of me and started gnawing at my leg with his teeth and
Whoa.
caused a mark on me. That was
Crazy.
one of the worst experience with living with the roommate I ever had, and I simply was just wanting to go to my bedroom because he was having his own temper tantrum, and I just wanted
Melt down.
I
to
can't believe it.
yeah. No, the biting is real one. SP. The next video that I'm putting up, it'll be up by tomorrow. I talk about what I call the dark side of autism, the meltdowns. And they can be really, really bad. I mean, they can be bad.
Yeah,
Bad.
and he basically just gnawed at my leg for no reason when I was simply just trying to go into my own room for me to have my own space so I don't have to deal with him.
He didn't break the skin, did he?
Basically, I was bleeding. Can I show it to you?
Yeah.
Imagine if that was the part of my leg. He was like, kind of like some
how
form
you
of
do it.
animal.
Instead of talking, they
man.
bite. Yeah. That's part of the meltdown. It's like a 2-year-old. It's like a 2-year-old tantrum, but it's an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I call it the dark side of autism because people don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it because they just don't. But it happens not just with adults. You have teenagers. I mean, that are physically bigger than their parent, and coming at them and trying to bite, and you're trying to ward it off and everything. I had to go to the hospital and get a shot because my son broke my skin once. It gets rough. It gets rough, but that's the reason why you have that's the reason why you have to get the individual into behavior therapy, because they have to learn to stop doing it. It's like it's nothing you can do about it until you figure out what's triggering them to do this instead of talking.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's realistic because it's not every person with autism that has that type of meltdown. But that's the bad type of meltdown. The other type of meltdowns is when they're hitting themselves, and they may be talking to themselves or something, or they may hit objects. But when they go at another person, that's when it becomes a real issue, especially if it happens in public.
Yeah.
And then you have to worry about whether somebody's going to get the police involved, and then the police are not properly trained to deal with people on the autism spectrum. They're not properly trained to deal with anybody who has special needs.
Yeah, sometimes they're not trained to deal with anybody at all.
And the sad thing is that like places like where I am, I have asked police officers in the city that I live in, and they basically lump in training to deal with individuals on the autism spectrum with mental health. I'm like, but autism is not a mental health issue. And that's what I said to him. I said, it's not a mental health issue. And they only get annual training, which means one day?
It's probably like 2 hours.
Exactly. Maybe half a day at the most.
That's how they did. They do people in the military on like CPR. You got to do annual training on CPR and life-saving techniques. Life-saving techniques is only 2 hours. That's it. And you get the rest of the day off. So it's probably like that. They probably do some kind of.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not a long training, but you have too many incidents where
they killed them.
They kill someone who has special needs, and it comes out afterwards that the person has special needs, and then like that one where those people were with their son at Costco, and the officer says that he came at him and his kids, so he shot him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like the worst nightmare of
that's
anybody.
sad.
Exactly.
That's sad.
Because he's not here to give his side of it. So we don't even know what the officer said.
And you know the police try to clean up their tracks too.
And he was off duty. So why did you have a? Why did you?
Whoa! He was off duty. Oh, that's even worse. That's even
and you were
worse.
off duty. So why'd you have your gun? Yeah, that's my question. You were off duty. Why'd you have your gun? But that happened here in California. So I mean, the police here.
Yeah, California have a history of bad police,
and they do not do well with folks, adults that have mental things going on with them or have special needs. They just don't.
The special needs of color.
Exactly. Yep.
They make you like 3 minorities in one.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like, when you go in neighborhoods and everything, even if you have a special needs kid of color, you got to go tell these police so they don't, especially because my son is an adult. I'm like, look, he has autism. You need to know that, but you're not probably going to not see him if you don't see me. That's exactly what I told him. You're probably not going to see him if you don't see me. But in case y'all do, he has autism. So, but because they don't really know how to handle people. I don't even know.
Oh yeah, I got a question. So since he's an adult, let's say he does run away for instance. I'm not saying that he will. How does the missing report works? Is it really 24 hours because he's adult, or do they do it immediately? Like
they would still do it immediately because of his having autism.
Okay.
Yep. And because he's not considered a high functioning individual on the spectrum. And and on top of that, as far as like care, he's considered 24-hour care.
Okay. Bam. Oh yeah, they gotta do that immediately.
Yeah,
they gotta do that immediately.
Yeah, he's considered that someone basically has to be with him at all times because he is an adult and because he's not the type that's going to just walk away, but he could. That's the point. It's not whether he will do it. It's the fact that he can do it. Okay. And I for all intents and purposes, I couldn't stop him because he's grown. I can try to stop him, but he's bigger than me. So we'll see how that works. But we've never had that issue. I've never had that issue so far.
I commend you on your job. I commend you on your job with him, boy. I commend you a lot.
Yeah, but not so far. But you're a
strong woman.
I know, but see,
you're a strong woman to go up to the office and be like, "Hey, look."
Yeah, but see, my son is at home. So what I find out is that a lot of people, when their kids turn 18, if they're not going to college, they immediately go find the group home because they don't want they get themselves on a waiting list to get them in a group home because they don't want to be bothered. That's what it is with most parents of kids on the autism spectrum. I found out that I'm in the minority. Most parents don't. They're like, they're done. They're done. But it's like, I don't even understand. It's like, I don't trust those people. You see how they treat people? I'm like, you see what happens to kids at school? You think I'm gonna trust my son to somebody, and then he might not tell me that somebody did something to my aunt? I'm not gonna. I'd be on the news. That's not gonna happen. I'd be the parent on the news. I would be her on the news over somebody touching my son. Still there, Angel?
Yeah, I'm still here.
He was just listening. He worried about
Yeah,
that computer.
because you guys were having a great conversation.
Oh no, yeah, no, I was just telling you. I was just
Yeah,
talking.
He
Stop.
worried about that
yeah,
computer.
but believe it or not, I got away from my parents at the age of 13, or I should say 12, because at the age of 12, my dad was looking for options for me because apparently he couldn't take care of me or didn't want me all that much longer. So at the age of 12, he signed up for me to be in a group home, but I was only there for like a small time before I was able to be back with my dad. But then at the age of 13, when my dad had a serious alcohol problem, and he still kind of does to this day,
Mhm.
we got separated from our parents because I was living with my
Hey there,
dad, my
son.
sister, and my other brother, and I went ahead and got moved into my auntie Kelly's place in
Mhm.
Bemidji, Minnesota, when my dad had to separate us because he got in trouble with the police. And from 13 all the way until the 23, I was in a group home.
Yeah, but what I in your situation is different.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that what I have found is that other parents
Yep.
don't once their kids are 18, they're looking for them an apartment. They're looking for them to be someplace else. I like over the summer, I went to this concert. Me and my son went to a concert,
Amen.
and I met this other mother who has an older son than me, and her son I think is like 28, and I think he just moved out the house like last year. She was like, "I'm so glad he's not my problem anymore." That's the way. That's how she said it, and I was like, "Excuse me, but that's your son." She said, "She says you'll be where I am soon. Trust me." I'm thinking, no, I won't. No, I will not be. I will celebrate my son moving because it's what he wanted to do,
Okay.
not because of something like that. She was like she was acting like she had just got released from jail or something. Everybody's not meant to be a parent.
Yep.
I found that out.
Everyone is not meant to be a parent. You know, but my son's dad is good with him. You know, they have their relationship and we have ours. So, you know, and because my son is on the spectrum, and because he's not high functioning, you know, I have to deal with his dad when it comes to making decisions, you know, with our son, you know, because we all three got to be there at the meeting. So sometimes it can be very, very heated because I don't want to put our son into a conservatorship, and then later he has to fight to get himself out of a conservatorship. Is what I keep trying to tell his dad. His dad wants to put him in a conservatorship, and I don't agree with it. So we're at odds about that. And
Um.
and
And
I'm standing my ground because I feel that I'm speaking for my son because
yep.
he can't say it himself yet. You know, but I know that he does not want to always live at home. I know he does not. He said it. He wants to live on his own, you know, and so I don't want to put anything that's going to block him or make me part of that decision. You know, the only thing I help him with is his finances and making sure that he takes care of his medical needs. That's it.
Look at you. Look at you. You were born to be a mother. Look at you.
Shoot, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Look
Thank
at
you
you.
for coming to Soul Alchemy. I've been seeing your videos, girl.
But I'll show enough do be to him. I'll be seeing them too.
I said, stay warm. Stay warm, girl. It's
I
cold in
can't stay.
Atlanta.
I can't stay warm in Canada. There's
I
no
was like,
such.
but I'm talking about her. I was like, I told her, I said, try to stay warm because it's cold where she is too. She's in Georgia. It's cold. It's cold.
Georgia.
And
Georgia is
yeah, it's
south.
cold in Canada too. So sorry.
Georgia is the South.
Well, it's gonna be raining here tomorrow. Tomorrow's supposed to be raining tomorrow and Thursday. So we're supposed to get a little bit of rain. Won't be much, but it'll be a little
Ain't
bit.
you, ain't you getting some lightning over there where he at?
Yeah, because
And
Yeah,
for
most
the
of the,
next few
yeah,
days, there's a flash flood warning in fact until Thursday morning, and there's gonna be several showers
yeah.
happening
But
in
it's the
Phoenix.
same storm. It's the same storm, but we're getting the back end. It's because it's two storms coming together. There's a storm from the north and a storm from the south. You guys are getting the storm from the south because it's hitting San Diego and in the southern part of Arizona and stuff. And then there's another storm that's coming from the north, and they're like sitting over the states for the next 2 days, for Wednesday and Thursday, and then they're supposed to move on. They're supposed to move on, and then we go back to our normal temperatures for this time of year. I'm glad Soul came through. I'm glad you came up tonight, Angel, too.
Yeah, great to be on here.
Yeah, no, you know, because you have a very good conversation, and I like I like the stuff that you're telling me about about your life. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah, no problem. And I also want to say that you said that at the age of 18, most parents put their kids into a group home or look for a group home to put them in. At the age of 18, that was when I was given a conservatorship, because when I was a teenager, my social worker had ordered the courts to give me a conservatorship when I turned 18, which is the age most people are at the independence of their life when they move out of their parents' house or
Right. And
go
I
to
and I and
college.
I haven't put my son into, yeah. They wanted us to put my son into a conservatorship every year. They asked me, and his dad wants to do it, and I don't. Every year they ask us um to put him in a conservatorship. I have the paperwork.
Yeah, and when I was 13, that's when my social worker filled out the forms to have me be given a conservatorship when I turned 18. And believe it or not, that was also the same year that I graduated high school and got my first and only job back then before I got a new job this year. And that was also the time when I had money being taken away because of the conservatorship of mine when I got my first job. But believe it or not, it was a low paying job that only paid like $2.50 an hour.
Wow. But see, you graduated from high school. I'm like, that is a great thing. And I don't even I was like, I don't even take that for granted because some kids who aren't special needs don't even graduate.
But there were a few times I wanted to drop out of school, but they basically had told me no, I couldn't. But I decided to just continue on with school, even though there were many times I wanted to drop out.
Yeah. But I'm glad you didn't, because I know it may not seem like a lot, but having that high school diploma is a lot.
But
You
the only
know.
thing that I ever had a problem with, and I get so many criticism for, is for 7 straight years. Because my first and only job went from 2008 to 2012, and for 7 years up until this year, I hadn't had a single job. And some people often had said to me back then, "Angel, get a job. Go get up your butt and get a real job and make some money." Well, do they even realize how hard it is for a person with autism and
It's very hard.
disability disorders to get a job? It's harder than they think, because
It's very hard.
last year when I was in the midst of looking for a job, when I was still living in Minnesota at the time, I filled out 40 plus different applications, and I only received a call back from 15 of the 40 plus that I had applied to. and neither of them had the guy said to meet up with the manager to do an interview in the office, because the interviews were over the phone. Because a lot of times corporations will do an interview over the phone, and if you meet the qualifications, the manager will want to meet up with you in person to see
Yep.
if you're good enough for the position. That's not what a lot of people understand, is that people with autism have a hard time trying to answer the questions because they don't know what answer to give.
It's hard to give the answers over the phone because you need to see the person so you can figure out what they you can read their facial expressions. You can't do it over the phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know,
And
but but the other thing too is that it's hard even if you even for people on who have autism, even if they have a college degree, it's still hard for them to get a job.
and
It
even
makes
with
it
the
hard.
even
Yeah, it make it harder because of the autism. They assume because of the autism.
that people are not capable of doing the job or anything like that, but companies need to start giving people, even if they're autistic or regular, a fighting chance to do it. Because a lot of times for people with autism, we're different than everyone else, and people like the managers at your local McDonald's may find you like, huh, what? Because when they see or hear a autistic person for the first time, they get all these thoughts in their head that is all negative without even giving the autistic person a chance.
I know. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I mean, that's something that I, as the parent of an adult, have a challenge with because, you know, like my son likes the arts. So, what are we trying to do? We're trying to get him into the only program that'll help him maybe get a job in the industry, you know. But he's got to jump through a lot of hoops to get into that
Yeah.
program because he's not behaviorally where he needs to be. So it's going to be at least another year before he can even think about applying for that program. Thankfully, you know, that's the only thing that's holding him back, you know. But the getting like just regular jobs, it's hard. It's hard because they make assumptions even though they're not supposed to discriminate. They do.
Yep.
And the link that I'm about to post in the private chat here on StreamYard, guys, is a promo for a TV series that premiered earlier this year, back in May, on A&E, called The Employables. Because basically, what the show is a documentary TV series that documents the people with autism and Tourette syndrome for when they want to try to look for work, and
Oh,
some
I've
of the
seen
people
that
on the
one.
show hasn't been employed in like 10 to 15 years. It was one of the great shows that was groundbreaking and interesting to me, because it seems like it's a show that is all about giving people like myself a chance at a job.
Yeah, I know like companies like Microsoft are starting to hire, because I've posted about that on like on my actually on my LinkedIn and stuff, on my professional stuff, and I posted it on my Facebook too. There's a few companies that are starting to open up the doors, but what I have seen like is that in some cases it's been entrepreneurship that's opened the doors. Like you have that catering service that's in Florida that's completely run by people on the autism spectrum. I mean, the dad, of course, manages it, but they do everything, from preparing the food to actually going out and doing the catering events and stuff. And then I know there's this car wash, some other place. So that's the thing that I'm thinking is that I, as a parent, have to help my son to find opportunities that maybe aren't the normal kind of stuff because those opportunities aren't there for him right now. So unconventional things, things that he can do, that he could be an entrepreneur. That's the kind of stuff that I'm thinking about. Mainly because of the stigma that they still have on it, and there's only a few, like I said, only a few companies that are starting to open their doors. They're bigger companies, but they're not all over the country. And we need this to have more of a national effect. Because if we can get people to be more accepting of adults with autism here in the United States, then as we go, there goes the rest of the world.
Yep, especially Africa.
Yep.
Yes,
Africa really treat autism like it's a disease over there.
Well, they think that it came from, they consider it a Western disease. They think it came from us. They think it came from America and from Europe. They blame it, or they think that it's spirits, it's demons, it's all kinds of things, and they shut those children up, and they don't get diagnosed until much, much later. So the majority of the children with autism in Africa are nonverbal because of that. They would have been verbal if they had gotten diagnosed when they were like 2, but the average age of diagnosis is 8, because the parents hide them away. Nobody knows about them. It's barbaric to me.
Autism in Africa. Boy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You want to talk about treating kids bad over there?
But in 30 years, the majority of the children in the world will live in Africa. So guess who will have the largest proportion of kids with autism? Africa. In 30 years from now, the majority of 60% of the kids in the world will be on the continent of Africa. So that means in 30 years, they will have the most children with autism. So I'm just hoping that it, somewhere in the next 30 years, things turn around on the continent. Because it's only like 5 countries that even, have any kind of intervention programs. Only a couple of countries, like, let me think. Well, no, they're bad in Kenya. Nigeria, the nurses are, it's only recently that the medical community has stopped being superstitious about it.
And I will say this to USP and you as well, Purple Diva. You guys are more than welcome to my channel anytime. I always love when new faces, and how you guys subscribed to me a little bit ago. But you're always welcome whenever you get the chance. And I might to make some videos here and there, but for the most part, I just post what I like or what I want.
Oh no! I come through and watch your videos. I give them a like. I don't always comment, but I give them a like and give you a view.
Okay. Thank you.
I do that to a lot of people. I comment sometimes.
I really do not know when she coming in looking at mine. I really do not know. Yeah.
I come through people's videos, and I'll look at them, and I don't always comment, but I'll give you a like and give you the view.
How this saying go? Comment, and let it stick.
I know, but I've commented at least one. I comment at least one time, and you don't always get a comment, but sometimes I do comment. Like if I think it's something really funny or I have something to say or ask you about the video, of course I'm going to comment. But you'll always get a like.
But if you ever want to comment of something that you really do love, comment on some of my videos where you hear my laugh, because I often post videos when I'm on other people's streams onto my channel where I'm laughing, and a lot of people love my infectious laugh.
Well, I will have to listen for your laugh.
I have a playlist that says laugh laugh along playlist. Basically, it's a playlist where I am laughing on people's panels. And one of the newest videos that I posted was when I was on a YouTuber's get to know stream.
Okay, I will definitely take a look at that.
And she definitely gonna like it and watch it all the way through and not comment.
Whatever, 1SP.
She's not gonna comment. All right. Just know if you got a random like out of nowhere, and you got like 3 random hours out of nowhere, you know it was DC DCThePurpleDiva that did it. All right. Just know that. Just know that.
I go to a lot of people's pages. If I subscribe to your page, I do come through. I just don't always comment. I'm sorry. But
That's all right.
She got like the most comments out of anybody. And she's like, you know what?
But you know what? I comment on everybody's page.
You got a lot of comments. You got a lot of comments. I seen your boy. You get.
I know. People just pick
70s, 80s, 90s, and 100s.
That I get a lot of comments. I get a lot of comments on a couple of the videos, and then the other ones nobody watches. So I don't know. I gotta figure out what that magic formula is to get people to watch some of them. I try not to make the videos too long. My live streams are always going to be at least 2 hours. So, you know.
This one has at least 2 hours right now.
Yeah. Oh no, they're always at least 2 hours. I'm always on for at least 2 hours. Well, if it's a live stream, unless it's a pop up during the day. If I pop up during a day, then I might be on for like maybe 15 to 30 minutes.
Oh, you do pop up lives?
I've done a couple. Yep, I've done a couple. Today I was going to do one, but then I jumped into G-Kicks Live, and then I was in TRN Nariz, and I was in his live. He had a 5-hour live today. He got like 6 people to 1K.
Wow.
Yep. 6 people got to 1K. And I think like 4 people gave him $100 super chats. And it wasn't the people who he got to 1K.
Of course not. It's never them. It's never them.
But he's never gotten like those kind of super chats. He was like, he could not believe it.
4 $100 super chats?
4 $100 super chats. And he got other super chats.
Oh man, they just throwing it at him now. They just throwing it at him.
He was really,
That's gonna be you, DC. That's gonna be you, DC.
He was speechless.
That's gonna be you, DC.
Because, you know what? Because he even talked about how long. I didn't even realize he hasn't been on YouTube that long. He's only been on YouTube since like
a year.
This year. Yeah, less than a year. No, about a year.
Yeah, a year.
Yeah, less than a year. He said, and he went live. He started going live in March. And he got monetized in August.
Dang, he grind. He grinding.
Chef Moore got monetized in 4 months.
Huh?
Chef and Moore did it in like 4 months.
But yeah, she don't really grind that much though. She don't really grind that much.
She was, but she had a whole bunch of people in her streams, and it gave her a bunch of days because she would have like on some days she would have like she'd have at least 20 people in her streams, and it would give her days of watch hours.
I always start off with like 25, 30. I always start off with that, but then like after like 30 minutes, he'll go down to like 15, 12.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man. Oh
The
man.
most people I ever had in one of my live streams was 42 people on a stream that I did last year.
Yeah.
But
Say hi.
DC,
then
you gonna be next to get monetized.
Yeah, it'll come. I'm just gonna keep doing me.
You gonna be next to get monetized.
I come on every day. I come on every day.
Almost the same time.
Yep, I try. My son is getting upset, y'all. And because he knows, because like I said, I'm on for about 2 hours, and he's getting mad now. David, say hi to YouTube. You want to say hi? You don't want to say hi?
hello.
Now he's mad. He's gone upstairs.
So do you might want to think about ending the stream?
Yeah, he'll come on the next time. Yeah, he'll come on the next time, guys. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, he'll come on the next time. But I'm gonna get ready to end the stream tonight, guys. Okay?
All right.
All right then, but thank you guys so much for coming in. And I will definitely see both of y'all on tomorrow out in these YouTube streets. And feel free to come through my streams, and I will try to come through you guys' streams, because I have both of y'all on the bell, on the ring and bell, but you know how YouTube is. Sometimes it doesn't notify you.
Exactly.
So that's why I try to keep mine coming on at the same time. And at least I have a community tab, so I'll usually post it up there a couple of hours before to remind people that I'm coming on at 9:30. 9:30 Pacific. So until tomorrow, guys, thank you so much for coming. This has been a great live stream. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, everybody else that's down still in the stream. So until tomorrow, peace, everybody. See you two guys. Bye, Angel.